so I'm not horrible.
Does that mean that you don't play much with each other then, or does that mean that you don't play at this intensity very much?
We play randomly with each other when the time works, and
yeah, but we're talking about once a month, the most.
At the most,
really?
The most.
Yeah.
So
but,
for us,
that's just shattered one of my
illusions. But then when you...
I wanted you out there every night for an hour, you know. Darling Martini, let's have a round.
That would have made it easier for next week, that's for sure.
Yeah, but then when you get out there and you actually start to push yourself, like, because you're going to end up playing a couple sets, or you're going to end up, you know, then you bring movement into it, and that changes the equation dramatically. I mean, to get out there and just hit the ball feels great, you know.
And the dynamic of playing together and being a team as well,
yeah.
You know, that's not something you ever did competitively.
No, that's right. That's right.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, well, I'd take her on my team any days.
I wouldn't worry too much. Tim had some fun
out there
a few weeks ago. He's playing more golf than anything. So,
oh, good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. In tennis, you don't have to be good. You just have to be better than one person, you know? So I'm hoping Tim is worse than me.
You've already described your busy life with your kids and travel around the world, but you also are involved in a foundation in Germany, aren't you?
Yeah, we started probably about 11 years ago. I started a foundation called Children for Tomorrow. We support traumatized kids throughout the world with psychological therapy and treatment. And so our projects, our base is in Germany, but we have a couple of projects in Africa, Eritrea, Cape Town, as well as in Kosovo, and going into Uganda this year. So we've been able to help a lot of kids that have been traumatized through war, violence, persecution, that have severe traumas. So
aside from the charity work and family life, is that pretty much what takes up your days at the moment? The foundation work happens mostly in Europe, which is the morning time for me. Priority for sure have the kids and this guy. So everything else, you know, we try to build. Do you get to see each other a lot, or is it? Oh yeah. I mean, the fun thing is that a lot of things that we were able to start together. Do you look at tennis much these days? Do you actually get a chance to watch tournaments? I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I have it on whenever it gets covered on TV, and I'm always sort of interested in the standard of play across the board and watching the sport evolve, watching the athletes evolve, and it's quite fun for me to enjoy it from my living room versus having to worry about playing any of those guys. You know, that's. Do you talent spot? Are you quite good at kind of seeing guys coming up through the rankings? Oh, he hasn't lost the analyzation of a match yet. No, you still love that part a lot. I do. Yeah. I like to break it down and figure out what I would do if I played somebody, but most of the time I'm just amusing myself. And what about you, Steffi? Do you find yourself getting drawn into the women's tour? Not following it much at all. I mean, if he wouldn't have the TV on and on tennis here and there, I don't think I watch it terribly much. I mean, we have enjoyed watching, obviously, the, Federer and Nadal. I mean, watching these incredible athletes out there. They've had some epic battles over the last fantastic matches. I mean, how can you not watch it, right? Yeah. So we've enjoyed quite a bit of that, but other than that, not too much. What have you made of the Federer-Nadal kind of power shift in the last year? Oh, well, I guess somebody can't be on top forever, right? But it's just amazing that during this run, when you're talking about Federer arguably being the best of all time, that he could just run into this sort of freak from Mallorca, you know, that just sort of somehow manages to contain him. And they're so opposites, and one is just so athletic, the other is so sort of graceful. And you know, I sort of look at Fed as being, you know, more talented, but I look at Nadal as just being such a tremendous athlete that he can just compensate for so much out there. And that lefty to Fed's backhand is a world of problems that, you know, there's just matchup issues in sports. But I love watching how they both sort of try to bring out the best in each other. I mean, they definitely do that. They've played some matches where I don't think tennis has ever been played like that. And then just behind him in the world rankings, I have to ask, will Andy Murray ever win Wimbledon, or can he win Wimbledon? Or absolutely. Do you think that he'll win another tournament first? You know, would he win? Well, I think where he's going to be most likely to win first, which doesn't mean much if you look at my career, is probably the U.S. Open. It's just a surface that he can absorb pace so well, and he can move the ball around so easily. And I think Andy's a multiple slam winner. I just like his matchup against a lot of different kinds of players. You pop in quite regularly to school?
Oh yeah, no, I need to for a lot of reasons. I mean, whether I'm trying to raise awareness, where I'm trying to raise finances, or whether I'm just coming in to make myself feel better and see some of these kids and have them put a smile on my face, you know.
So what are the things that's made you smile the most about this school?
Well, what can I say about it? There's been a lot of times I've had kids come up to me out of nowhere and just thank me for you know what the school's meant to them in their lives. It's a culture here. It's a culture. It's about, you know, we expect a lot from you because we think a lot of you, and they just embrace it.
How long did you fancy her for then before you were really able to ask her out?
9 years, something like that.
So you're saying 9 months.
No, 9 years.
And so did you get somebody else to do your groundwork for you?
I attempted that way one time and
didn't work.
She shut that down pretty quick, so I had
she was a tough nut to crack.
Yeah, she was.
Something that I read, which is just lovely, that is the blackboard. Does that still happen in the kitchen?
Still there, absolutely.
The blackboard, and you write notes on the blackboard for Steffi.
Yes.
In a very romantic way.
It's a reminder to me to remember what the things worth caring about and valuing. So. And
do you write notes back?
I don't. But not.
It's her appreciation board.
It's your appreciation board. So whose idea was the board in the first place?
That's his. He started.
Yeah.
Gosh, he's perfect. Isn't he?
No, no. It was. I always talked about a chalkboard in the kitchen for just basic grocery lists and stuff. And
well, that's what mine's for. My husband doesn't know about this appreciation board thing.
But I just thought I just mentioned that one time in passing, and like the next day, Steph brought home this chalkboard. So I was like, I just was so appreciative that the little things were heard and felt and noticed that became her appreciation board.
That's lovely.
Seemed pretty.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.